I'm Jenny. Well, it might be afternoon or evening by the time you see this, but usually I talk about random things that pop into my head. But today I am going to respond to a request from a listener who asked about the 2 Snickers. So thank you, Susan Morrison. I don't remember the numbers, and I hope that your first name is Susan, for asking about the Snickers. So I'm going to give you an update. And for those of you who've been following the Snickers stories, the tale of 2 kitties, thanks for coming back. And for those of you who are new, I have 2 cats named Snickers. So it's been about a month since little Snickers, she's the new one, has come to live with us. And she's adapting well. I do talk to her other mom. I'm still going to call her other mom. Her other mom regularly. She's my friend. And just to recap, she had a stroke and she was in the hospital, and then she was in rehab, and now she's in a nursing home. And she's also blind. She's been as blind as long as I've known her. So I do tell her what's going on with Snickers. And so a couple little things that's happening with the new Snickers. She's adapting very well. Actually, she's adapting better than Big Snickers. Big Snickers is still holding a grudge. They're hissing at each other and they're growling at each other, and this is funny, they have swatted at each other, but they never make contact. They never get close enough to actually get into a real brawl. But new Snickers, she's so funny. I hope I can explain this in a way that you can envision it. They hiss, they growl, they swat, right? And then new Snickers, she'll take a couple swats, and then there's a carpeted area between the 2 areas where the cats are living, and she'll swat, and then she sharpens her claws, She's standing her ground, and she does it every single time. She sharpens, like she's just ready to go, But I kind of think that these cats really don't know what to do, as I'm glad, as far as having a real fight. Or they're too scared. I'm not really sure what it is exactly. Now, Big Snickers, the original Snickers, my Snickers that I've had for a long time, she's been doing some strange things. And I don't trust her when she does that, because I don't trust her emotions. So she stopped doing it, but for a little while she was rolling on the ground, like they do when they want you to pet them or they're trying to be cute. I say she's flirting. So she's rolling on the ground, but she's doing it in front of the other Snickers. And she's hissing at the same time, which I'm kind of thinking that it might be submissive. I'm at the point now where I think that my Snickers is scared. Maybe. I'm not 100% sure. If you guys know anything about this, I've never seen a cat do this before, where they're rolling, she's exposing her stomach. It's the kind of thing they usually do when they want to be cute. You go, and they want you to pay attention to them. But the hissing part, I'm not understanding that. That's kind of weird to me. But she's doing that. So, little Snickers, the new Snickers, she's grown very attached to me. She does let Ray pet her. She doesn't run away from him or anything like that, but she has become my cat. When I'm working on the laptop or sitting on the bed or whatever, she's getting up right close to me. She'll lay down right next to me, and of course she can get pet there. She purrs a lot. And if you saw my Easter message, you know that I'm Christian, and she likes singing. I didn't know this, and I was telling Vicky, my friend, about it. Of course, Vicky can't see, right? But she's also Christian. She plays Christian music, and I think my cat recognizes it, or her cat, our cat. I think she recognizes it, because when I put certain things on, she comes and she looks, and she does look she knows her old mommy's voice because I put her on speaker when I'm talking to her at home, and she looks at the phone. She's listening. So she's a pretty smart little cat. She's starting to do some other things that we're gonna have to figure out how to work this out. So I was feeding her in the bedroom. She actually still has her food in the bedroom, but I was following the advice of somebody who's a cat expert, and originally when I fed her, her food and water was as far away from the door as I could get it, and I've been moving it closer and closer to the door, which was his recommendation. Well, it's pretty close to the door. If I move it again, I'm going to have to move it outside the door. It's too close now to move it without being, in the way, coming in and out of the bedroom. And she stopped eating the food that's in the bedroom. Now she goes out and she eats the other food. So this is where we're at right now. I have to make a way for the two cats the food to be in the same area. And I'm kind of wondering if she's becoming dominant over the food. She's a little bit more, she's a chubby cat, and she likes to eat a lot, and I think there's a couple things. So the food is another issue where I think the new Snickers is more dominant than the old Snickers as far as food goes. But there is a lot of time, and I think we'll continue this, where the cats are separated, and they're not and maybe they're not completely free range in our apartment. So at nighttime, the old Snickers has the majority of the apartment to go around, where she can still eat. And I don't know, it's just a strange thing. We've had a lot of cats, and I've never had this kind of issue where one would try to take all the food before. I've just never had that happen before. But this is also, with the exception of Ray's mother's cat. When Ray's mom died, we got her cat. But, other than that, I've always had kittens and raised the animals. So, they've grown up together or in a community. But this is the first time where I've ever brought two cats together who were already grown, living in different types of households, and having to adapt. They have to adapt to the people too. It's not just the other cats. Like, she has to get used to us, and she's used to being raised by a different human. But I think she is adapting very, very well. But we understand cats, so that it's been okay for her as far as that. But I do think that we're going to have to work on the food issue here, because it's not good for the original Snickers to have to be under so much stress and strain. But there is some funny things going on, and she's adapting well. Now, my friend, I just want to mention her for a minute. The last time she had an apartment, okay, when she had her stroke, she had an apartment. She was living on her own. Her husband's deceased, and she was living in an independent living situation, apartment, for seniors. She had a kitchen, although they do where she was living, they do provide food. She wouldn't have to cook if she didn't want to. She could go down and eat meals, and she did. She would go down to their cafeteria, I guess that's what they call it, and they could go down there for all 3 meals of the day, and I believe they have access to snacks throughout the day as well. But she can also cook in her apartment if she so chooses. And she's got a washer and dryer in there. It's very nice and very safe place. So originally I thought that she was just going to end up in this nursing home permanently, and she was upset. She had told me that her daughter-in-law and I think her niece, she doesn't have any grandchildren, were going to close out her lease at this apartment, but she just told me that they didn't do that, that she still has her apartment, and that she thinks she's going back in June. I don't know how this is going to work out. She said that she's still having trouble walking, but she can stand up. I think she can take a little bit of steps now with the walker, and she wants to go back to her apartment, and I don't blame her. I really don't. Really don't. I mean, who wants to live in a nursing home? You know, that's not our life goal. We like being independent and having our own space and being able to do the things that we do. And there are other people in her building that her friend that helped me when I went over to get Snickers, her one neighbor friend is in a wheelchair. She's an amputee, and but she's not blind. See, my friend, she's blind, and she's going to have other mobility issues. So I don't know. I mean, I hope the best for her. Well, I do. I want the best for her. I want her to be in a safe place. More than anything, I want her to be in a safe place. And I do want her to be able to go back to her apartment if it's safe for her. And she's in her 80s. Her mind is completely clear. There's nothing wrong with her mind. And actually, even maybe she will make it back. She says June. She thinks she's going to be back in June. So, maybe she is improving. It's hard to tell, but I can tell her speech, it seems to be clear. When she first called me after her stroke, she sounded, like she was tired, or maybe she'd been drinking a little bit, that kind of thing. It was a little bit slurry, but I don't hear that anymore. And there's definitely nothing wrong with her thought process. She thinks very, very clearly. She doesn't have any signs of Alzheimer's or dementia or anything like that. And I just, things happen when we get older that are out of our control, and kind of processing this a little bit, I think. I'm so glad that I could help her. And I had told her, as far as Snickers is concerned, that if she ever wanted her back, all she had to do was tell me. But she's not going to take her back. That it's a little traumatic for the cat. I mean, I would have just babysat her and, fostered her if she really wanted her back. I'd let her go back. But she's a long-haired cat. She has a lot, her needs are greater than a regular domestic short hair, right? She needs to be brushed at least once a day. And I can tell you, in the 1 month, I got all of the little mats out of her fur. But if I skip a day, because I was doing it twice a day, she was, pretty matted up when I got her. If I skip a day, when I go to pet her, I can feel in her fur where it's starting to clump up again. So she needs regular brushing, without fail. And, other than feeling them, because Vicky can feel them, but she can't see them. And I think it's hard for her to control the cat because she can't see. So she had told me that she thinks that Snickers is better off with me, and I don't know. So she's not going to take her back, but I would give it back. I would give her back to her if she wanted her. I really, really would, because I understand how important our little fur babies are. Anyway, that's where we are with the cats. Some fun stuff, some I don't know stuff. I like I said, I wish her the best. I'm loving this little cat. I really do. She's sweet. She's a tortoise shell, so she's got some quirky things about her that I'm learning. She likes paper. She chews up paper, and I didn't know she did that, but I'm finding that out that, yeah, that's a habit that she has. So I have to watch. She wants to chew up my appointment book, and everybody who knows me in my personal life knows that this is my life right here. You don't mess with my book. You don't move it. Except the cat. She wants to chew it up. So, yeah, we're doing good. I hope that Vicky can go back to her apartment. And I hope that all of you are doing well. If you have any advice on uniting two grown cats, I'll take whatever I can get. I think hopefully eventually they'll be okay. But we're going to go slow and patient. And I'll talk to you again soon.